Hello everyone, thank you for your interest in learning Microsoft Excel. This is first in a series of videos that we'll be making regarding this program. So since this is the first one, this is going to be intended for first-time users of the program. So if you are, for example, an expert user or you've used the program before, then you might find this to be boring, but you can still stay just in case that you find something new in my presentation. So, but please don't expect too much. So this will be just a very basic that we'll be doing. Okay. So now we'll be starting with opening the Excel file. So we just click on the start and then browse for the Excel shortcut. So in my case, this one is arranged alphabetically. So what I would normally do is to pin the program in the taskbar. So how do you do that? Okay, so you search for the shortcut in the start menu, right click and then click on more. And okay, so showing again, right click more and then pin to taskbar. Okay, so you'll find that in your taskbar. So anytime that you need to program or to open the program, you don't have to look for it in the start menu. So it's already there in the taskbar. Okay, so normally you'd most user would have that in the desktop. So you have a lot of shortcuts in the desktop, but I would prefer to have it in the taskbar. So I'm using Microsoft Excel 2019 or Microsoft Office 2019. Okay, so in case you don't have that same version installed, then it's not going to be a problem because well, more or less, it's going to be the same menu that will be having. The programs or the applications or the menus will be similar, or if not the same. So if you open Microsoft Excel, you find home, then you have options available. So since for now we're just starting, so we click on new, and you have options like this blank workbook, or you have an option to search for online templates. So these online templates, you have shortcuts here or suggested searches. So okay, so financial management and the like. So you have calendar. So in case that you want to create a calendar, then you don't have to start from scratch. So you have templates available here online. Okay, so you have other options. So those are free templates that you can download from Microsoft Excel or from the Microsoft website. So you can just download it and edit as it pleases you. Okay, but for the purpose of our discussions, we'll be starting with a blank workbook. Okay, so just to show you again, if you click on home, we have recent. So as the name implies, you'd have the shortcut to the files that you have recently opened. Okay, and you have pinned also, so in case you have some workbooks that you would normally use, then you can pin that file so that you don't have to look for it, because if you use the recent one, then if it's not opened recently, so you won't be able to see it there, right? And it has a limit on the number of workbooks that you can find in the recent file. Okay, so and also in case like that, you can look also at the open and browse through Windows Explorer or wherever you have saved the file. Okay, so since this is the Excel file or Excel program, when you click on open, it's already filtered to look for Excel file or .xls, XLSX, or XLSM. Okay, in the future we'll find out what about the XLSM. This is a macro enabled workbook. So for our purpose, we click on the blank workbook, and we'll be having this blank workbook now. Okay, so this whole file or whole page, we call this a workbook. Okay, so this workbook is the one that we have, the file that we'll be saving it. So for this, when you open an Excel file, its default is to have book 1. So if you open another, then it will be book 2 and so on. Okay, inside the workbook you have this worksheet. So one worksheet will have about 1,048,576 rows and 16,384 columns. Okay, columns will be the letters A, B, C, D, and so on, and the number of rows will be the one vertical. Okay, so each cell would represent um, is represented by a cell address. Okay, this cell address is the intersection of the column and the rows. Okay, so you can find that in the cell address. So as I mentioned earlier, it's the intersection of column and row. So column C, row 4. So it's nine. Its name is C4. So the first one is A1. Okay, so it's that simple. Okay, so now we're having the formula bar. Okay, for now we'll be talking not be talking much about this one, but in the future we'll be having more discussions regarding this. Okay, so you can just type in as you would want, just select a cell and then type. So whatever cell you select and typed on, then you will have those information in the formula bar. So you can edit using the formula bar, or you can type in exactly directly in the cell. Okay, okay, so at the top portion we have what we call the ribbon. So we have the commands there. Okay, so normally all the commands will be most of the commands will be visible, um, but you can also alter and hide some of the features. So you just click on that part of the Excel file or the workbook, and then you have options in the ribbon. So when you click on the tabs, then that's the time that the other commands will be shown. Okay, or you can auto hide completely all the commands, so that will be just focusing on the worksheets. But since we're just starting, so we'll just click on show all, so that most of the commands will be visible and it's easier for us to work with the Excel file. Okay, so we have the worksheet, and we can add another worksheet or add however number of worksheets that we want. Okay, um, just for example, one sheet could be, can imagine it to be one big sheet of paper where you can um, work on and put on details. Okay, so it's as if it's a big piece of paper that you can work on. So each additional sheets will be like different sheets of paper or different pages in a notebook. Okay, okay, so I think this we've discussed most of about this workbook now. So in case we want to save the file, we just go on file and save, and we just select the location that we want to save the file. Okay, so what we can do is to we can choose to save it as book 1, or we could choose to choose a location and save it with a different name. So it's up to us how we want to name our workbook. Okay, if we click on save, then it will be saved in the original file name. But if we click on save as, then we could choose to rename it or name the file differently. Okay, and then we can close the workbook. Okay, but Excel will be open this one, so we just click on home again, and then, or we can just click on the X at the top right portion of the workbook. Okay, that would close the Excel file. It's, as I mentioned earlier, it's very basic. So this one is the first time users. So if I went on too fast, just let me know. Let me know by adding on a comment. So please, I'd love to hear from you. This is just a very basic. So in the following videos, we'll be discussing more um, about Excel and its application, or how we'll be able to use it. So let me know what you want to learn, and I'd add that in my future videos. And please do click on subscribe to my channel, so that you can learn to use Excel more properly. Okay, thank you.